Folks, this is the show before the show.
Is it?
I believe so.
Are we live? Danny Palm. Dun, 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 dun.
Waiting for Instagram.
Waiting, always waiting for Instagram.
Insta.
Now we're good.
Pulling it up. Let's go. Live, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pulling it up. Uh-oh. I mean, mute everything. We do that every time. All right, let's go. Good times.
Instagram.
Studio. Sunny Days Arena. Ryan Middleton. Danny Palm on the keys. Let's go. It's going to be a good.
We've always wanted to say that. Danny Palm on the keys.
I think I've said it before.
You said it before.
But I do always want to say it. I mean, it's an awesome thing to say, and he is on the keys. So you guys know when we do the podcast without Danny Palm, you miss the air horn. I know. I do too. Just hits every time.
Every time.
Let's go. It's a nice day. We decided about 30 minutes ago to do a podcast. So here we are doing
Well,
a podcast.
I mean, to be fair, we typically have a weekly podcast, and we most of the time have it on Fridays, and we haven't had a podcast this week.
Yeah,
Fair.
Ryan did say it like 9:30 this morning.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So at least Danny proves that, someone here's a liar.
We're in a bit. I mean, that's barely, what is it, 2.5 hours instead of a half hour. I mean, basically the same thing.
5 times longer. But hey, facts.
Who's counting? Who really counts?
Facts.
We have a lot. There's going to be a lot to talk about, but this is still the show before the show. So what I want to talk about is absolutely nothing.
I want to think and talk about absolutely nothing.
That would be great.
Did we get
Because,
that camera straight? Is it where we straight now?
well, the camera might be straight, but
Yeah, I know we're not.
yeah, I mean, it looks pretty straight here. I don't know.
Let's ask Martin. Martin, is that
Whoever's
camera
watching.
straight?
Yeah. Is the camera straight? I can't tell.
We have a lot to talk about today. We're gonna recap the festivities of this past weekend. It was it was like,
Hang on, the show was really good.
other than the show,
Yeah.
the weekend was absolutely awful.
Ass.
Like so bad. The
Pure
show was
ass.
great. You got the that was the part that made it all worth it,
Yeah,
but
Easily.
it was really man.
Bro, that was, we jokingly said October, something is off by a chair. What? Dad, you might want to type that one again. Try again with that.
It says something is off by a like
By a hair, maybe. Something is off by a hair is probably what he meant to say.
Oh, he meant like
yeah,
the
yeah.
angle.
The tilt,
Yeah.
tilt is off by a hair. All right. Well, that's we'll allow a hair.
He says something like you say.
Something is off by a C hair.
What did you say yesterday when I was making fun of you? Like you said something.
Essendulation.
Essendulation. Yes.
That's valid. Essendulation is real. Okay, it's problematic.
It should have just been sendulation.
That
was my argument.
Okay. Oh, he meant a C hair. I get it now. I see. He was using a bad word that he didn't want to type. I see.
Oh my gosh! Come on, bro.
I see.
AC hair,
AC
like
hair.
an air
Air-conditioned hair. Yeah, that's
yeah.
the best kind of hair.
Yeah, we know what you mean, air conditioned.
That's awesome. Okay, so we got a C hair to adjust after this show. We need,
He spelled it out for us.
yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
there it is. There it is. We got it. We got there.
We knew.
Oh, it's noon. It's the time for the real show. A push notification just came through. I believe I heard that.
We're alive, ladies and gentlemen.
Live, real live,
Welcome,
real live.
welcome to the 247 Combat Sports Podcast. Wait,
Hey,
what is
that's
it?
it. That's
Is
it.
it? Okay, yeah.
Dude.
We changed the name of it. It used to be the Pittsburgh Combat Sports Podcast.
Yeah, we changed it like 2 years ago.
Okay, well, details. Okay, folks, let's start with the good, and there's plenty of that to go around.
Let's be extremely clear also to the viewers up front. We have an hour and maybe more like 45 minutes to do
Yeah,
this podcast.
this is
So we're going to be moving. We're moving. All right, let's go.
There's gonna be a hard cutoff at 1.
Yeah. Good stuff from Brawl in the Burgh 26. And there was good stuff.
Plenty. Okay, first and foremost, I'd like to congratulate and thank all of the fighters, all the teams that came in, everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone was on weight. Everyone showed up in the cage, and it was a great night of fights that I wouldn't trade for the world.
Yeah, we want you to only have to roll with punches in the cage, but we appreciate you rolling with them outside the cage with us as well. The feedback, changing venues and all that was miserable for us, but the fighters and coaches actually alleviated the stress instead of adding to it. They were all very cool, very understanding. They were here to fight, didn't really care about all that noise. So thank you guys for that. Seriously.
That's huge, guys, and I cannot understate how much we appreciate that professionalism of showing up on weight, on time. Like, we got weigh-ins done in a record time. Honestly, everyone was weighed in 17 minutes.
Crazy.
6 o'clock, 6:17. Everyone was weighed in. Now, there's part of the weigh-in process is
physicals
and some other stuff, and getting photos and face-offs and all that stuff. But everyone was weighed in 17 minutes on weight. No one had to go run. No one had to find a sauna. It was great job to everyone. Like, that makes everything go smoothly and allowed us to really be done a little earlier than usual with the weigh-ins and go attack what we had to attack with the monstrosity we had to deal with,
which was a lot.
And we'll get into that. Like, I don't want to we'll stick with the good. The second good, I mean, do you need to say anything more than Carly Joe Thomas? Carly Joe, man, wow. Second time she's gone up against a very skilled, undefeated opponent in the 247 cage, and both times she showed up and showed out and proved that she is who they say she is.
Mm-hmm.
There is a lot of, there was just a thing with Lucas Siebert the other day, him talking on a podcast saying, like, best fighter in Pittsburgh is Carly Joe Thomas, right? And that was before the fight, and like, this is real. The level I saw her at on Saturday night is elite. It is very, very pro ready, and it was exciting to watch because she is such a lovable person, and she's touched a lot of people's lives, and she's also like impacted a lot of people, and now she's even moving on to coaching it as a college female wrestling coach. Like, just great things ahead for her in her pro career, and super excited to see her go down to 115 for the first time and look like she's belonged there the whole time. That's a feat in and of itself, to feel good at your first extra 10-pound drop. I just can't say enough about Carly Joe.
A lot of layers to that one. Like you said, beating a 7-0 opponent, looking better. The biggest narrative to me is what you said at the very end, moving down to 115 and looking better than ever. I don't know about you guys, but when she said she was going to 115, I had legit concerns. She was not small at 125, I didn't think. And when you're talking 125 to 115, this isn't like going from 205 to 185. Like, this is a huge percentage of your body weight that you're basically 10% smaller doing that, which is crazy. That's a lot to cut. And females, traditionally, this might be anecdotal, I feel like females have a harder time with weight cuts than males in general. So you add that in, and I had some concerns, but dude, she looked absolutely phenomenal. Definitely did physically look different, smaller, more lean, more ripped. You could tell it was a different weight class from her other fights, but the endurance, the boxing, mixing everything up, man, she controlled that fight against a highly, highly skilled opponent who's going to go on to have her own successful pro career, I bet. So pro debut will be next for Carly Joe, as it should be. Insane. I agree. In terms of that card, that's a great place to start talking about the good. And Yeah, we got some comments already. Gary Lewis likes the skull hat. Thanks, bro. This is one of my favorite hats ever. It was a quarter. Literally, it cost a quarter, as it should have. Well, it's great to see Justin and Carly Joe get impressive wins. Jordan Oliver looked really good again, too. I agree. Jordan Oliver was a guy who early on, 500-ish type fighter, took some really hard fights. I think he fought Luke Martin and early on, that's a tough one for you. But back to back now, beating Craig Perry in October and now wiping out Val Caruso and looking very, very good both times. I think Jordan Oliver's stock is going way up, and I'm definitely excited to see what's next for him. He's clearly hitting his stride and figuring something out. So that's an exciting fight. Patton, to your point, Gary Lewis. Well, yeah, I mean, we just break down Carly Joe. You might as well talk about the man in the main event, Justin Patton.
The man.
Doing what he does, man. Doing what he does. The first round almost got Elijah Harris out of there in the first round. And kudos to Elijah Harris. That dude looked strong as heck that first round. The first 2 minutes specifically, he got Justin down, had a ridiculous body lock at one point, and it just looked like the strength was out of control. So he I don't really know if he wilted or he just wilted because Patton started putting it on him, but Patton landed, I don't even know. What started it all? What initially hurt him? I forget. A head kick. I think it was a head kick that landed pretty nice. Kind of sent Elijah on his heels. Justin had him up against the fence, landed a ridiculous knee to the body that dropped him. Elijah kind of got back to his feet. Justin planted him again with another knee to the head. Like, it was just one of those moments where I was like, any second now, this is going to end. But Elijah was super tough, man. He dove on a leg, was relentless about surviving, and he did until the second round. Justin, again, got his back maybe like midway through the second round, finished it with a rear naked choke. For Patton, I mean, we all know the goal is the UFC for Patton, and the UFC looks for finishes. If you're just winning decisions, they don't really care. So this is now for Patton. You got that Hustis fight highlight reel finish. You've got this finish on the reel now. That's all looking good and pointing in the right direction. And suddenly Patton, who started his pro career, I think 1-2, is now 8-3. He's on a tear, man. And that record looks a lot better, a lot more appealing. And yeah, we'll see what's next for him, man. But it should be big.
And when you take a closer look at even those 3 losses, I think most of those were fights that, the second 2 were fights that he was winning. So that, I mean, he could very easily, without a couple little mistakes, he could be a 9-1, 10-1 guy. Obviously, you don't get to to go back and remove mistakes from a fight, but the trajectory is beautiful with Justin Patton. Some more good. It was nice to see. One of our fears is, Gino Morelli is just going to come in and wipe everyone out. And it was nice to see him actually get tested. Nice for him to get some cage time, go beyond the first round, get into that second round, start to feel what, a fight is all about when you aren't just like running over people. And he's had that he starts super fast. If he catches you early, like, you're going to be in trouble. And that's really what's happened from what we've seen through most of his amateur and pro career. But he had a full round. He got taken down. He had to overcome adversity and be in a unfavorable position for the first time that we've seen, and it was nice to see him act. This is what we wanted. We wanted a real test. We wanted to step up in competition, and we certainly got that. Derek Adjade is
a deceiving record.
Oh, he is very good.
Yeah.
And very game, and he's ready to go to war.
And very easy to work with, man.
Absolutely.
I mean, he super professional all the way around. Can't say enough good things about Adjade and their whole team. But to your point, that's probably not only what we wanted for Gino, but I would certainly imagine that's what they wanted for Gino too, his team. You want to know that you got more than 5 minutes in the tank for sure before you get to that next level. You want to get taken down and see if you can battle back from that. Don't just be the hammer all the time. Like, you need to know that you can respond when things go bad. So now Gino knows he's got a little bit of that in him. And the next step for him, just like Patton, should probably be a big one, and we'll see what that ends up being. But yeah, Gino Morelli, man, always an honor to have him in our cage. I fully expect him to do big things.
I have another the good.
Mm.
So when we're sitting cage side, we're not getting the chance to hear the announcing and all of that stuff. And
This was something I was going to bring up too. It's
yeah,
good. Nice.
So we brought on Tyler Polk I don't know, maybe 6-8 months ago, and he's a very seasoned sportscaster, but he hasn't done a ton with MMA. And so, the challenge is like the most important thing for that position is knowing how to be a broadcaster,
Right.
knowing how to lead and control the flow and that kind of stuff. And he is
Great at that.
great at that. And there was never any concern with that. The progress we wanted to see was to start to understand and own the sport more. Oh man,
Dude.
what a great job by Ty Polk. If you didn't have a chance,
Nice.
absolutely. If you didn't have a chance to listen to the podcast or to the replay, he did a phenomenal job. Really took feedback really well, and it was just absolutely awesome. What are you laughing at?
Did you get notification?
I
Ding in
did.
your-
What
yeah,
was that?
I have no idea. That's what I was laughing about. Like what? the
Those are
world?
Ryan's personal notifications.
Oh, nice. Also coming through. Is
Does-
that on the stream? Can you guys hear that, or is it just in our headphones? I have a feeling it's just in our headphones.
hopefully, yeah. I don't think that would
But,
be on the stream.
Yeah, man, Ty did an amazing job, and I was definitely going to bring that up as well. Ethan Goss, you hear him talk, and he sounds like a redneck hick, and you don't expect much out of him, but he's very surprising. Ethan's always been very good. There's
You
never
won't
been
hear
a
me
question.
say that.
There's never been a question that Ethan was good at commentary. And to your point, there's never been a question that Ty's a very good professional broadcaster. It was this flow with MMA. It's a little different. It's a totally different sport. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot of nuances, even just within our local MMA community. There's a lot of weird ties. Like these people know these people. And if
You
you
calling
know,
him a weird tie?
yeah. Oh, nice. Nice. That was well done.
They can hear the notifications.
Oh,
That
really?
sucks. We got to figure that out. Well, I mean, every time it dings, take a shot. There you go. How about that?
I just
New
gotta
drink.
I just gotta take notifications off
Yeah.
that computer.
New drinking game. Every time you hear Ryan personal notification ding, take a shot. Yeah, Ty was awesome. I definitely was going to bring that up as a positive as well. He's in the chat now with Anthony Proctor. What up, dude? Thanks for tuning in and thanks for putting on a show. Might as well jump to the good on that with Anthony Proctor in that Muay Thai fight with Nick Alvarado, which, dude, insanely tough guy. Like, Nick had so many opportunities to quit in that fight and just refused to take any of them. So shout out to that. Proctor, man, crispy boxing. And we knew he had a college boxing background going in, of course, but I think Ethan even mentioned it on the broadcast at one point. His 1-2 looked like somebody who's been boxing almost their whole life. Like, you can just tell those kind of guys, it's a little different. He looks super polished on the feet, man. I'm really excited to see what Anthony's got next and hope to have him and the whole ATT Happy Valley crew back out very soon.
Another good I have is Russ Corbel is like
legendary.
legendary. He's legendary.
The legend.
I mean, the guy was okay, let's start with, we got weigh-in pictures,
bro.
I mean, not weigh-in pictures,
Green screen
pictures for like his poster, and we were like, this is gonna be interesting. Like,
yeah.
I mean, he's an older guy, not older by fighter standards, and he's the most charismatic character guy ever, and he took an absolute whooping for a minute or so.
Speaking of guys who could have quit and nobody would have questioned it,
and that fight I thought was over. I literally thought, well, that's
there's that, yeah.
That wasn't, I mean, not sucked, but great for Nico, but it was sucked for being a good fight.
Right,
and then
right.
it just completely turned around.
Insane, man. This dude, the determination, the will, and then the relentless cardio. I mean, he weighed in at like 166 for a 170 pro fight, which was, you don't see people come in that light often.
I mean, that's 5 pounds light.
It's crazy how light he came in. So I was like, did he overcut? Like, what just happened? So no, clearly he's just in phenomenal shape. The dude's cardio is out of control. Nico told me after the fight, he was like, bro, that might be the strongest guy that I've ever felt. Like, when he would get a hold of me, it was just like, what is this? It's like grappling a chimpanzee, dude.
What is this?
Yeah.
WrestleMania, bro.
WrestleMania. I mean, shout out, dude. Russ Corbell, he very much deserved that. We said it on the pre-fight podcast about how easy he was to work with medicals and all those things that are difficult. He needed some extra medicals being at his age, and he got them all done. Didn't need to hold his hand. Super professional, super charismatic, to your point. I think everybody loved his little post-fight dance. I know I did. What a maniac. He was awesome, bro. Russ Corbell, always welcome in the 247 cage.
He hit the moonwalk.
He hit the moonwalk.
I mean, it was just like everything was there.
Proctor reiterating real quick that Corbell for sure a sleeper. He's like, I didn't think he was winning that one. Yeah, nobody did, especially after the first minute. We were like, yeah, well, that's that. And then no, he Corbellized instead.
So another couple quick goods on the bottom half of the card. We do have to squeeze a lot in a short period of time, so we're gonna keep this quick. Jared Gonzalez, what a performance!
Insane,
absolutely awesome performance. You know,
he should lift weights though. He's like kind of flabby.
He has that Ryan Middleton build. It's that physique.
He needs to work on that.
TJ Sloan, potential superstar. He has all the makings. He has the right swagger, the right jacket, the right everything. Really, really impressive. And we already touched on Oliver and Proctor.
Yeah, I thought the whole card. Did you have something, Danny Palm? Sorry, dude.
If there's anyone out there that has a picture of TJ Sloan in the cage in a fur coat, please send it our way.
Yeah. So this is like before when the crowd was like, when the doors were open, but early on he was like warming up with a fur coat in the cage, and like we were looking for pictures.
Yeah, we
don't have any pictures, so we would like those.
Yeah, TJ, a lot of markings of, like you said, a future star. And if you guys are excited to see TJ again, you should stay tuned, because you will be seeing TJ again pretty soon. I'll just say that. All
right, are we ready for the bad?
Yeah, let's.
Okay.
We might
no, because there's the ugly.
There's even yeah.
The bad.
All right, let's go for the bad.
The bad. Okay, let's start with this. Okay, because of the change in scenery, we did not have the ability to that quickly put together like a way to mark the seats properly and the aisles properly, the sections properly. So that was kind of an unacceptable, we were trying to help as many people as possible find their seats, but it was not to our standard, and it was ugly.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
bad.
That
was bad. Bad. Everything was just ugly to me. I'm trying to think of what else was bad. Oh, not much we can do about this, unfortunately, but the cell phone service and internet situation at that venue is not good. And that complicates a lot of what we're trying to do.
Yeah. So and probably what like people were trying to text people and call, and like it's just not good.
I had a lot of calls. I the first 30 minutes of the show, I missed TJ Sloan's fight completely. I was in the office where I actually had like a slight signal, taking a bunch of phone calls and stuff. It was just bad on that end with like getting the live stream started on time. And
that's ugly.
Yeah. Oh, that was ugly. Yeah. Okay. I consider that bad. But
well, the fact that the live stream didn't start until the third round of the first fight, that's ugly.
Is that did we determine that is when it started? Yeah. Because the replay was perfect, which I'm not sure how it ingests or whatever, but like the replay had everything. So I don't know. Anyway,
it's still
that was
being
bad.
Recorded. It just wasn't being broadcast.
I just always thought the replay would just be exactly what streamed. You know what I mean? But somehow it pulled the right thing. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Sorry about that. That was bad / ugly.
I mean, that has a lot to do with the situation and there being a million things to do when we thought there would be no things to do.
The adjustment's crazy. Like, I really can't emphasize enough that it's not quite planning an entire show in 36 hours, but
it's close.
It's close. It's actually way closer than you think. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is the bad. And then the ugly, yeah, finding out Thursday, 5 o'clock ish.
5:09 p.m.
What?
That's when the email came.
Well, that wasn't the email. Well, he was here before that.
I'm just saying 5:09 p.m. was the email. I'm not going to forget that time.
So finding that out after everything was a go every moment of the way. Everything was spelled out what needed to happen, and everything that was spelled out was done to excess.
Yeah, so much excess, actually.
And the fact that it got pulled out from under us, listen, the last thing in the world we thought or wanted to happen happened, and we didn't have a backup plan because this wasn't going to happen.
Dude, I was sitting right where Ryan is sitting right now, and I just stared at the ceiling tile for like 10 minutes straight.
I was where Hunter is.
Yeah.
Ryan was over here.
Yeah.
I won't forget that.
Well, that's when I came into the room, like when I told you guys. But
dude, I knew from Ryan's face like something was very wrong. And we have a company policy, not written or anything, but just an understood agreement that on fight week we don't mess with each other, because we will, all the time we'll prank each other and like make stuff, oh, this fight dropped out when it really didn't, like just to get a reaction, whatever. There's an agreement on fight week that we're not allowed to do that kind of stuff to each other because it's too stressful, it's too much, and if there is a real problem, like we need to get to it and fix it, obviously. And I just, dude, the second Ryan came in and sat down, I was like, something's really bad. I didn't think it was the event being canceled here. I thought maybe we lost a really good fight, like Justin got hurt last second or something. But then he said, dude, they shut us down. And I knew there was not even a second where I was like, you're messing with me. I was just like, yeah, they shut us down. And just literally stared at the ceiling, like trying to think of literally anything to do.
So the last time I had that feeling was on March 14th, 2020, when we had Brawl in the Burgh 3, and it was the day that the world was shut down. It was Saturday morning, and we had our third show scheduled that day. We had the weigh-ins the night before, and they shut it down. And that was that same sick, like, honestly, I was almost in tears. Like, I was close.
Yeah.
And then it was some sitting and talking about it. And then it was, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's make some phone calls.
Dude, there was a distinct moment where we were downstairs, we were talking with everybody, and Ryan was like, all right, Hunter, go upstairs and start making some calls. And I thought, because, dude, when this happened in October, like just for context, when this happened in October, they told us on Tuesday, not Thursday. That's a huge difference. 2 extra days is huge on fight week on Tuesday. And the thought was like, we had this pivot to the trampoline park almost immediately and full access to the trampoline park whenever we needed it. So we had 4 days to be in the trampoline park getting it ready. That felt like plenty of time. Thursday at 5 p.m.
There's no time.
It doesn't even seem possible to pull it off. Like again, without highlighting literally everything. And maybe it would be fun for you guys to see an actual checklist that we use on fight week of literally everything that needs to be done. It doesn't even seem possible. So in my head, when Ryan was like, we're all depressed, Ryan was like, all right, dude, go upstairs, start making phone calls. I thought he meant like call fighters and coaches and let him know.
Yeah, you even said, and I go, no.
I'm like, this is going to suck. And Ryan's
call
like,
venues.
Call venues. And I'm like, yeah, we're doing this. All right, let's go. So immediately I'm like, dude, like, we're in. If we're going for it, we're all in. So my mood immediately changed from like give up to let's go. And called Monroeville Convention Center first, and of course they were booked. Called Murraysville second, and crazy, man. I'm not a big like Destiny guy or anything like that, but she was like, you're not
Destiny.
Destiny. Yeah, Destiny was like, Destiny's Child was like, you're not going to believe this, but literally the event we had on Saturday just canceled on me 30 minutes ago. And I'm like, what are we going to do now? She's like, this could not come at a more perfect time.
Well, you got to tell the whole story.
Well,
we still have something until 2, so you guys can get in at 2 o'clock.
Correct. So
like, no, that's not going to work.
So we need like 16 hours minimum would be ideal, like including load in, set up, tear down, get out of there. Like it takes a lot of time.
Well, no. Let's rewind that. 16 hours is if we just have the cage.
Yeah, that's like killing it too. Like that's pretty fast.
But like we don't ever want to do it all in one.
Correct. All right, we'll back it up even another second. In an ideal world with like Monroeville.
Explain the process in Monroeville.
Okay. In Monroeville, we can set up on Friday. Pretty much anytime Friday.
So we start Friday morning.
We start loading stuff
9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Like
yeah,
trailer gets pulled in and we start unloading and start setting up.
We're pretty much set up by Friday night. Production, like the live stream, lights and sound, they'll come in usually Saturday morning and do their thing. They're wrapped up pretty quickly. And then after the show, we clean up some small stuff, but leave the cage up, leave most stuff there, and then come back Sunday to tear it all down, load it back into trailers, and leave.
So we're there Friday morning till Sunday afternoon.
Correct. In Murraysville, the crunch became, because they have other events. They have deck hockey leagues. I think maybe she said like indoor soccer league. I can't remember what it was. But they had stuff going on. So Saturday morning, the earliest we could get in Saturday was like 2 p.m., which meant that we would have to load in starting at 2 p.m., be fully set up and ready to go when doors open at 5 p.m., 3 hours. Impossible. Like quite literally 0% chance of that happening. So the question became, how much extra would we have to pay to get you to cancel that Saturday morning obligation?
That was a question we shouldn't have asked.
The answer was a lot of money. And the answer was also, we don't have a choice. Because like I said, it's actually impossible to start setting up at 2. Now, that said, we did it. And now we can set up beginning at 7 a.m. That's still really tight. Saturday morning, 7 a.m. And
especially for this venue, because
that's what I was just going to say. Yeah.
Most venues, we're getting like driving into the venue and dropping the trailer and just pulling it out and putting it together. There's no commute of 500 feet one way and then when you're done, 500 feet back. Like that was absolutely brutal.
Brutal, dude. The load in there, very brutal. So even though 7 a.m. is now doable, it's extremely difficult still. Like we are there at 6:30, starting to unload stuff. Freaking mega shout out to our sponsor, Russ Green, Go Green Windows and Constructions.
First thing in the morning.
He's
with
there with help to help, literally just to help us carry stuff and make sure the show goes on. That's legendary, dude. Thank you sincerely. And then he got deservedly tuned up at the fights. They deserved every beer. They deserved every beer they got. Yeah. So then the crunch just becomes crazy. Like we're hustling. I mean, we were hustling up through the opening bell. We were still getting stuff done. But not only that, Murraysville also had something scheduled for Sunday at 11 a.m. So we had to be fully out of there by 11 a.m., which if you guys can think about this,
you got to go straight through because
you just do it right after the show.
Yes. Yeah. There's no way to get there at 6 and be sure you're going to be out by 11. So
Correct.
We just had to be.
We just bit the bullet and said, we're doing it all in one day, set up, tear down all in one day. So that's what we did. We got out of there. I mean, what time were we? Probably 4 a.m. We were, every trailer was loaded, 4:30, something like that.
And that's what time you were out of there, but we still had that one trailer.
Oh, yeah, you still had the pallets of chairs. Yes. Yeah. So
it was like 5.
Yeah, it was.
Dude,
I didn't get home till, I don't know, maybe 6.
I got home 5:45.
Yeah. So bad.
I had to stop here and unload a bunch of beverages, but I think I got home at like 5. So yeah, that all checks out. However, one last kick in the nuts that I got to share, because this is the kind of stuff that's like, there's no way that just happened.
Yeah. So yeah, everything's done except there's one more trailer that needs loaded that we need to get a trailer back like we're running trips back and forth.
Yeah.
So we need to get a trailer back from the back from here from the venue that got unloaded. So we're just waiting.
So we took all of our bar tables and chairs that we had planned that will be here at Sunny Days Arena, the balcony seating, those bar tables. We took those to Murraysville Sports Zone because people bought those and we thought they would still want their nice high top tables.
Correct. They paid a premium for these high top tables that were balcony seats. We didn't have like awesome balcony seating like that, but we were able to get them cage side. And so they still had their nice bar tables cage side.
Yep.
But there won't be those anymore.
those arrived in boxes because we had never even taken them out of the boxes. So we had to assemble them all, the tables and chairs, that on Saturday. But what that means is we're not going to disassemble them to take them back. So now they're taking up a ton of space on the way back because it's assembled tables and chairs now instead of like nicely packaged box stuff. So we were all worried, like, dude, this is going to take 6 trips of trailers just to get all these back. Somehow, by the good graces, they all fit in one trailer. Like we got every table and every chair into one table, and we were like, oh my God, we're going to do this in one trip and we're almost done. This is so nice. Dude leaves with that trailer.
Then we let
Jesse and Josh
the hero and Jesse leave, which we're going to get into Josh
hero.
Because good wasn't good enough for Josh. So we're talking about
hero tier for that.
Hero tier, yeah. But we get a call from Jesse saying, you guys need to come out here. Send some guys. There's chairs all over the place.
all over the road. And I'm like, Jesse, literally, that's not even funny right now after the couple days we've just
seriously, I'm not messing around. There's chairs everywhere. Get some people to come
Send
up
some
here.
guys and come up. So I get 2 of Austin's friends in my truck, and we go up in my truck, air quote, and we go. I drive a Ridgeline. Sorry, it's not really a truck. We go up, and sure enough, chairs all in the intersection, Route 22, right by that Sheets, right by the sports zone. Sure enough, cop pulls up, blocks the road for us. Literally, it's the crazy thing about like that whole week is like, that's a pretty big deal, right? I barely cared at that point.
I was like 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah. I was like, let's get these. I guess we don't really have a choice. So thankfully, the driver noticed pretty quickly because his trailer was throwing sparks behind him because the gate was dragging on the road. He noticed quickly, so we didn't lose too many, but probably, I don't know, 20, 25 chairs in the road that we had to reload. And then I went behind, I followed him to the venue so that make sure like that doesn't happen again. And it didn't, thank goodness.
That would have been a nice little surprise. By the way, Ryan, it happened again.
I didn't even tell you.
Hunter got that call from Jesse. He was like, are you serious? And like Ryan walks over and is like, what's going on? Hunter goes, dude, you don't even want to know.
I'm just going to keep you out of this one. Yeah. I mean, that feeling of that happened at like 4 a.m., the chair spillage. That feeling of like, we're done. Thank God this is done.
Yeah.
And then you're not done.
And then it's like, now we need to rush more.
It's actually super comical in retrospect.
No, it isn't.
Not funny at the time. Not funny. Go Green Windows and Construction saying crazy weekend. Yes, it was. Yes, it absolutely was. Thank you for being a part of our craziness.
So we did the good, we did the bad, we did the ugly. Well, now we need to do the superhero because this dude. So all week long, Josh Lemon, he's been leading the setup and tear down squad for quite some time. All week long, I had him at the venue getting everything set up here, which is like, so we don't have to rush at the end and set it all up on Thursday and Friday. Like we did it all week long. The only thing left to do was clean the floors and set up the chairs. That was it.
Yeah, he was vacuuming on Thursday. Like, final touch.
No. We also had to on Friday and Saturday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we had to assemble the tables and chairs.
That's true. That needed done one way or another.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so Josh was here all week. He set up the podcast studio. He did a bunch of other stuff throughout the venue. He had Brian one day. He had Jesse another day or two. And
Crazy.
then, like, he was here when that happened on Thursday. And, like, dude, he must have put in 762 hours last week.
Yeah.
Dude, he's literally like a huge blessing to our company, and we can't thank him enough. So big shout out to Josh Lemon
and Jesse.
Yeah,
and
and
Jesse
the whole
was here.
team.
Yeah,
I mean,
everyone.
But he was really here like so much.
It was insane. I started laughing talking about what Josh was doing because it reminded me of moving the safe. So there's like there's an 8 billion pound safe in an office downstairs, and Ryan was like, "We need to move this to the corner of the room." So
I knew it was gonna it was gonna be hard.
So
but like
at first, it's just me, Ryan, and Josh. Like we just tried to push it. We're like, maybe we can push it. No, not even remotely able to push this thing. And I'm like, you guys, if you've been following the podcast for a while, you know, I am not mechanically inclined.
Oh my gosh,
to say the least.
That's like the understatement of the year.
To the point of I don't even try to think of how to move it. I'm not even like there's 0% chance.
It can't be moved. And I'm like,
just like not for me to figure
Josh.
out. Yeah, I'm not gonna figure it out. Russ Green said Josh is like a mixture of Fergie and Jesus.
He is.
Yeah.
That's pretty close.
He actually is.
Fergalicious.
Oh, he is Fergal. I mean, anyway, this safe, Josh takes like a minute to think, and he's like, "All right, here's what we need, dude." I'm not even going to try to describe how he did it, but essentially using like steel beams to create them as rollers
Those
to
aren't
roll
beams.
the safe. Whatever, conduit,
steel piping,
conduit, and we rolled it on these things that look like putting a safe on like a hot dog roller, and we rolled it to the corner of the room.
What a douche!
And it was like not that hard actually when you did it that way. It was amazing. He's a genius.
He is good. He gets
handsome.
it done. I mean,
Hustleton.
Stop.
Hustleton in the house. What's up, dude? Been a minute. All right. Yeah. What?
We only have 20
BitB27.
minutes
We got to
left.
talk about March. We got to say something about March.
Okay. So March 15th, Brawl in the Burgh 27, 100% will be taking place.
Correct. On that day at that time. But
where is the question? We will be answering that in the coming days. It could be at Sunny Days Arena, but we're not banking on that at this point. So there are other options out there, and we are sifting through those options and figuring out where the best place to hold it is if we don't have a solid answer for Sunny Days Arena. If we don't have okay, so here's some news. The biggest thing that was holding up the occupancy permit, the only thing holding up the occupancy permit that is not very quickly like resolved, is there are egress hallways that we had to build, and those hallways, like the framing is all built, it's all steel framing, and we just need drywall put up, but we need a permit to do that. So we're waiting on the permit. For some reason, like that hasn't happened, but everything else is very easily. There's a call box that needs to be put for in the upstairs egresses for if there's a handicapped person upstairs and there's a fire or something. There's got to be a call box for them. So there'll be 2 of those installed. Those are coming in next week. We should be totally fine, but that being said, we are not leaving that to chance. So we are having a backup plan in place. We will announce very shortly which location that will be and go accordingly. We really want it to be at Sunny Days Arena. However, if it's not, it's going to be at a very, very awesome place.
Yes, we're
all of the other options are awesome.
The options are really good. I will say that it will be someplace that maybe you've never seen us before, that you were like, oh, it'd be cool if they were there. and maybe we'll be there. Who knows? So yeah, there's a lot in the air and I'm tired. I'm super tired of being the boy who cried wolf and getting you guys excited for something that isn't real. So I'm just not going to say much about it until it's definitely real. That's where I'm at now.
That being said, there are bouts.
Let's say some people that are signed on that card at least, because I know people are excited about this card, and they should be.
This is a very exciting card. This is probably one of the biggest cards we've ever had.
Yeah, easily.
And that's why we want it to be
here
in Sunny Days Arena, because it will be a sellout. It will be a phenomenal card. We have Comma the Death Star Worthy is signed, sealed, delivered.
Who are you saying next?
Lucas the Sniper Siebert is signed, sealed, delivered.
Good. Drop another pro on him. You got it? You know who I'm thinking of?
I got to remember who.
I got it.
Okay, good.
Bridget Chase, signed, sealed, delivered. Indio Dojo, female pro. That's 3 pro fights. We might just stop telling you who's signed right there, but that's not all that's signed. I'll just say that. But if you hear Comma, Siebert, and Bridget Chase all on the card and you don't want to come, then just lose our number. Block us, unfollow us. Because that alone is a card that you have to come to. And insanely good matchups on all 3 of those that we're really excited to tell you guys about.
So just to give you, we would rattle off some more big names, but we lost some opponents this week. We did have a big, huge amateur title fight between Clayton Hoot Lee and Chase Boyd. However, compete, and so we are actively rematching Clayton, and hopefully we might have something done soon.
Yeah, I was gonna say we have some options there. That's the good news. I'm 199. I'm not saying it 100% on anything anymore after the run we've had. 99.9% sure we got somebody for Clayton, and he's staying on that card. I have very high hopes about that. And yeah, there's a couple more that we just lost this week, like Ryan said, but there are options there too. So very excited to replace those, keep them on. I mean, honestly, it's going to be undeniable when you see the full card that this is our best work yet. I mean, this card's so stacked, it's just dumb. It's dumb. Chico asking if, since Sprawl in the Burgh Saturday is canceled, can everybody who was scheduled to be on that be guaranteed a spot on the first Sprawl at the venue? Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact,
definitely going to ask.
The first thing we're going to do when we are able to schedule that next one is we're going to proposition those former matchups, and if both parties want that bout like we're just going to throw it on there. So very unfortunate, but ultimately I think everything is going to work out for the best, and we're excited. I don't know if you saw on our story yesterday.
Ooh.
But there is more progress happening.
Yeah.
As we're speaking, I'm willing to bet
they're
finalizing the installation of the Sunny Days Arena sign. Big sign. It looks really big on the ground, and then when you put it up in the air, and then you get like 200 feet away, 300 feet, 400 feet away, it doesn't look as big, but it's beautiful.
It's super nice. Yeah, man, super nice. I can't wait for you guys to see this sign. Like Ryan said, it really puts in perspective how big a big sign is.
Yeah,
they're massive.
Immense.
Yeah, they're massive. But when it's lit up and stuff at night, it's gonna look so amazing.
I'm so excited.
Like on fight night when people are pulling in, it's gonna look.
I think I'm more excited for that sign than Danny Palm was after Brawl in the Burgh 12.
No way.
Okay, I took things a little far,
no
but hey,
way.
I'm pretty excited about the sign still.
Hello, people. the best clip
awesome.
ever.
He was on a spiritual high.
Yeah. Danny Palm was high as hell, dude.
That was a good night.
That was awesome.
That was a good night.
So yeah, man. Yeah, March 15th. Gonna be flying up on us. As Ryan said, you can bet your bottom dollar. Go ahead, go to FanDuel right now and bet your bottom dollar that we're having Brawl in the Burgh 27 on March 15th. We are just finalizing where it's going to be. Number
It's
one option
happening.
is right here. Number one option right here. But here's the good news. Number 2, 3, 4 options we have on deck are none of them are bad. And they're actually, if this wasn't our future permanent home, these other places are probably just as good in terms of like how cool they are, the prestige of it and things like that. Like it's cool places to have a show. Don't get me wrong. Very cool.
But we're actually, we'll tell them. The reason why we have to cut off at 1 is we are going to one of them like
Yeah.
immediately after here to meet them at 2.
Yes.
So we are not, we will not scramble like this again. We are committing to a place probably next week. If we can't be assured that we are 100% a go here, then we will be announcing it very soon.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the card's sick. Believe me, every competitor who's signed for that and wanting to sell tickets, believe me, we want to be selling tickets for that show too. It's killing us as well that we're not able to just take everything live, announce it, and start moving, start getting this momentum.
In all seriousness, this is weird to have this conversation on air.
Let's do it.
We could probably do like consign everything on the floor.
Yeah, true. Because that's not going to change.
Well, it can change, but we'd have to just add on from those.
Yeah, we could figure that out.
Like, because essentially, regardless of where we're at,
we're going to have a decision soon, though. That's the thing. Like, we can't wait much longer to announce it. And we understand that. So we're getting it done. I promise. We're all dying over here a little bit, but we're also super energized by what's coming up in the future because this March card, super exciting. And then Sunny Days Arena, I mean, we've talked about it all week. The silver lining here is that on February 1st, it was going to be awesome. Don't get me wrong. Place looks freaking great. It was going to be beautiful. But there was a lot of stuff that we didn't get done to what it's eventually going to be.
Like the kitchen.
Like the toast set up with the kiosk ordering and stuff like that. There's just stuff that we're like, we need another month.
Did you schedule that?
It's next week.
Oh, it's scheduled next week?
Okay.
Hey, if we're gonna podcast, let's be real.
Yeah, true, fair. So, I'm sure you guys can see where I'm going with that. A lot of those things will now be done for March 15th if it is here. So, a lot of the stuff that was going to be like, I don't want to say half-assed,
you'll see that next
incomplete.
time.
It'll be this time now. So that's cool. So, and if we're on the podcast, let's be super real. This March card is going to sell more tickets. It's a better, the environment, the everything. It's just a better like grand opening card to have. So yeah, there's that. And I love you all.
From a ticket perspective, I would put that. I think the last card was awesome.
Like pound for pound, the only thing holding that card back was that it was only 8 fights.
Yes,
honestly, but like every fight was really freaking good. It was super quality.
Britt Bickard in the house. You're just coming in as we're getting ready to sign off, girl.
Yeah, Britt coming back soon, man. I've been seeing that progress. She's coming back from that knee injury. Boy. Got some inspiration. Is that this week? Does Tatiana fight this weekend for the belt, Danny Palm? Tatiana Suarez? Is that this weekend?
I think so, yeah.
Shit, maybe. Dang, regional MMA has claimed Danny Palm as well. Now,
no, I had to think for a second. That is this week.
Okay, nice. So, I saw Britt posting some stuff because Tatiana obviously has gone through her own slew of injuries. Like, I feel like she's had 6 ACL surgeries, man, and now she's keeps battling back, fighting for the belt. So, Britt using that as inspiration very wisely. Come back from her own knee injury. Certainly not the end of the road. So, keep an eye out for sunshine.
All right, I think we're gonna sign off. We're 10 minutes early, which is great. We're usually too long-winded to end early.
Correct.
So, folks, we appreciate all the support. We know that we've kind of put you guys through the ringer a little bit on not honestly not to any of our fault, but ultimately it's our responsibility, and for that we are genuinely sorry, and we've worked really hard to not cancel this show. So I hope that means something to you guys. But we are not trying to put anyone through the ringer or like mislead or anything like that. Like, we were assured by multiple people, powers to be, that everything was good to go, and like it was the worst case scenario. And doing this kind of stuff is the reason why we're getting the venue in the first place, because it's just taxing and it just kills the morale of the team. And so we wanted to make it so it was just enjoyable.
For sure. I have one more thing before we sign off. Well, two more things, because Kirk Bradley just commented, speaking of knee injuries, thanks for giving me your seat Saturday, Ryan. Nice. So yeah, Kirk coming back from a knee injury himself, and always that dude to see. But one more thing, I wanted to say this and totally forgot earlier. If you guys are waiting for meat bucks from this past show, you're going to be waiting a little while for a very good reason. So Strip District Meats just renewed their sponsorship. They're back for another full year of 247 action, hopefully more than that. We take it a year at a time. Meat Bucks now, since we're at the venue and we're going to have shows every month, Meat Bucks would get a little too cluttery. If we're doing one every month, that's too much. Too much Meat Bucks, too much to organize. You guys will get tired of it, honestly, I think, because they're doing Meat Bucks again. Who cares?
Quarterly Meat Bucks.
Now it's quarterly Meat Bucks. So at the end of March, after March 15th show, we're going to have Meat Bucks, and that's going to include anything that happened on February's show or March's show. And for the next quarter, it'll be April, May, June. Anything that happened on any of those 3 cards. So now the voting is going to be way more competitive, because you're dealing with the best finishes from multiple cards, or best performances from multiple cards. And the reward is bigger. The monetary value of your shopping spree at Strip District Meats has gone up. So more meat, more money, more votes. What else could you want?
Let's go!
What else could be better than more meat? And with that, we're getting out of here. Get out of here,
one
bro.
other thing,
I'm out.
one other quick plug. We mentioned Strip District Meats. Our sponsors are the best in the world.
They are.
Sunny Days In-Home Care. They're our title sponsor. They're Sunny Days Arena. Like, they're everything. And if you ever need any in-home care, first person to call, only person to call, Sunny Days In-Home Care. Rehab Center. If you all know Isaac Greeley, my son literally just got a chiropractor for the first time. He went to Isaac. He immediately called me and he said, "Dad, my back feels better immediately." And I was like, sweet. So he set up another appointment.
Nice.
Isaac Greeley is a wizard. He's awesome. I texted Kama right after that. I said, Austin just went to Isaac for the first time and he loved it. And he's like, Isaac's like a god. Like, he just heals. So Rehab Center is the best in the business.
Talked about Go Green already. Can't leave them out, of course.
Go Green Cord.
Go Green Cord.
Russ Green. Who else? We got a
Hose Source.
Hose Source.
Let's go. That's our boy Sean Poland's company. If you got industrial hosing needs, they are the best in the business, and Sean will take really good care of you. I can speak personally on that. Sean is super on top of everything. Great guy. Gonna make sure you get what you need.
247 Home Remodeling. My business partner Paul and I own and operate 247 Home Remodeling. We do everything exterior. If you need any windows, doors, siding, roofing, decks, porch roofs, anything like that, gutters, call us. Give us a call, 412-212-6444. Danny will answer the phone and help you out to get us out there to take a look at your project.
One more. We got one more. Big Spring Spirits, not an official sponsor of 247 Fighting Championships yet, but maybe in the future, hopefully in the future. They really hooked it up for us on this last show. Man, I cannot say enough. Based out of Bellefonte, I believe, more in that State College-y type region. They're based out of, but they do have spots now in Pittsburgh. They have a place in Swickley. They are opening a place on the South Shore, which is going to be incredible. We checked that place out, and it's going to be so beautiful when it's fully running.
They have literally been like a go-to for us. Like
Dude.
we've needed things, and they were like, "Oh, we're here."
One thing,
and it's
yeah.
like crazy, like how much they've had our back.
One thing we've learned, and especially with the venue and everything, and this is not a slight to anybody in particular, but most people are wildly unprofessional. You ask for something and they don't do it, or they don't do it on time.
They don't call you back, or they don't communicate, or they don't.
It's crazy. Big Spring Spirits, and I told them this to their face. I'm like, guys, I cannot even tell you what a blessing you've been. I've asked for help. You've provided the help. No questions asked. You're not asking for anything in return, nothing special in return. You're just genuinely trying to help a business. And that feels really good. And thank you for that.
Because we need it.
We need it.
we
we needed so much help. And they did. So Big Spring Spirits, if you guys are looking for whiskey, vodka, tequila, rum, any of that, all Pennsylvania made, all delicious. Cannot recommend them enough. We're going to be serving it at Sunny Days Arena for sure. We got a couple boxes worth of it now. So let's go. You guys genuinely should try that. Really good stuff. Really good people. Go support them.
Austin, you're too late. I was just talking about you, but you're
Too late
you're
now,
a
bro.
little late to the
All right.
show, bro.
We thought we got to wrap it up early, but we basically ran till 1 anyway. All right. Peace out, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.